Hello!
Hey guys,
So, I guess we're live right now.
we're back
We're back here.
after a long break.
Yep. After.
Okay, movie. Don't worry about social distancing right now. Here.
So, yeah. So, back after a really long break from our last live stream painting on the Figure Rise, actually Petit Rise Fate Grand Order kit on the Gilgamesh. I think it was about a month since you last
Yeah, because our last live stream was the announcement of the
custom paint
custom
challenge.
paint challenge.
Yes. So, looks like we are already catching in some viewers. 3 viewers now. Hey guys, if you're there, leave a shout out on the comments. Let us know that you're watching. And as the stream suggests, there will be a discount code to be given away. But we are gonna go over that slowly as we paint up the model kit. So, why don't we catch off where we last left?
So last time we painted Gilgamesh with silver. What is a gloss silver?
Mm-hmm.
So we started off with Mr. Surfacer gray, and then gloss black,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think the silver. It's not here, but we continued with the silver. This is the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
That is a really nice
gloss and
finish.
silver. And then now we'll paint off the, let's say, I think the reds and the gold. Priority is the gold ones because we want to show you guys something like close to this maybe, or I'll try to create my own kind of golds.
Gold. So
So
you have
using two different clear colors. I'll use clear yellow, is it showing, and then clear orange.
Which one are you gonna lay on first?
I'll go with clear yellow first, and then over that that's gonna be clear orange.
Any specific reason why?
I think how should I say this? The yellow would show a bit of a light gold, but it's not the color that I want. I kind of like this kind of gold.
So more like a warm tone.
Yes,
And that's where the orange comes in.
Yes.
Okay.
exactly. And then the red would be this. It's Gaia Notes red, scarlet red,
Mm-hmm.
and yellow orange for the hair. This, I'm gonna appreciate this hair. So, go.
All right.
Let me grab the actual paints so that guys.
So if you are catching us for the first time, yeah, we regularly go live and we usually talk about various topics from kit reviews to tutorials such as this paint. Like we're gonna give you a couple of tips on how to go about airbrush painting, some shades, and Mickey is also gonna pass some tips as well. So what do you got there, Mickey?
So this is gonna be the red scarlet. It's not as red as the usual Gilgamesh, but I'll put on some black, like black shading on it, so it makes it darker.
Okay.
And then the yellow, I'll add some shading as well for the hair.
Mhm.
So first black and then this. So let's start on priming them, I guess. Let's put them in the kit.
Of course, Mickey is going to be using our Airbrush setup. And what we have here actually is a double action 0.3 millimeter airbrush. It's one of the starter airbrushes by Wave, and it's actually a really nice one to use. Very easy to maintain. A lot of the beginner level guys of airbrushing tend to go for this particular model. And it's what we're going to be using today.
Alright, so we just clip them up and we'll start painting.
So, looks like we have a few comments coming in. Divyat, hey, welcome back, man. Glad to see you again on our stream. If you are new, please remember to subscribe to our channel for more content. You can hit the bell icon for more notifications on when we upload a new video or when we next go live, actually. Because We usually like to expand on the hobby and the whole premise. We love teaching all you guys some tips, various techniques, and we want to see what you guys are building too. If you have any pending projects, tag us on Facebook or Instagram. That's Otaku Middle East and _ Otaku ME.
Let's just clip them up and then start painting. But I need the proper paint. I'll put you aside. Yellow. I've been needing blue, but I don't have blue yet. I'll put this guy aside because blue will be painted off cam.
Okay.
Maybe I will do some tutorial video instead because these blue here, all these are engraved inside the parts, like those parts, those pieces. So we want to paint them, not hand paint, but like say for example reverse wash maybe or masking. We'll do that off cam and we'll share the video with you if it succeeds or not. Depending. We'll see.
So let us know, guys, if you want that tutorial video. We might do some paint tricks. Wizard is yeah. Mickey is our like one of the best painting wizards that we have.
Not the best. Not good enough.
Yeah, you won our custom paint challenge.
I have no idea how that happened.
Hey Johnny, welcome to our stream. Glad to have you watching us again.
Alright, so
question from Adivya. How do you not get brush strokes? Brush strokes normally happen when you're like hand painting, of course, but when your paint is a little too thick and it dries up too fast, you'll usually have those brush strokes show up as you're like painting on the model. A good tip is actually to keep your brush wet with thinner and use the appropriate level of thinning ratio compared to what paint you're using. So thinning ratio and keeping your brush wet are two good tips to avoid brush strokes. Of course, you can avoid it entirely by just airbrushing or using a spray can.
Better airbrush. It's better for you. Better for everyone. Says someone who's trying to learn how to hand paint.
You are hand painting too.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn. That's what I'm trying to do lately, and we'll see if I can. If I do better on hand painting, I'll continue. But if not, I'll continue on just airbrush.
Yep. So with airbrushing, we are using lacquer-based paint from Mr. Hobby. That's Mr. Color and Gaia Color. Lacquer-based paint is generally something preferred with airbrushing because of their quick drying time. But you do have to take care because it is quite a strong paint. It smells quite strong. But a lot of modelers we've been hearing love the lacquers because they're quick in their drying times. So it has some advantages, some pros and cons here and there. It depends on your preference, but I think we all like our lacquers.
Especially diamonds.
Yep, we've got more viewers coming in. Hey Tara, how's it going? Welcome to our stream. Don't think we've seen you before here. More painting clips for the parts.
Yeah. More parts around here. That.
So while we are kind of like setting up, let us know in the comments if any of you guys are actually painting a project right now, or you can do it one even better, share some photos with us over on our social media. On Facebook, it's Otaku Middle East. On Instagram, it's _Otaku ME.
Or post it on our image gallery.
Yes. Yeah. If you if you have a completed paint job already, and you can log into your Otaku ME account on our website and upload your creations to our image gallery to be shared with our online community.
Having trouble putting this on a clip. have more clips.
I think you can use some blue tack.
Maybe, but let's see which one I can take off. Just wait, come on.
Right. It's all good?
It's not clipping on because my clip is reversed. That's the only clip I have left, I guess.
Ooh, okay.
There we go. And yeah. So these are the parts that we're gonna paint. The silver area is going to be gold. These parts, there's a lot of them. And then the yellow is going to be yellow, of course. The yellow-orange, and then red is going to be scarlet. Not so red of Gilgamesh. But yeah, there you go. So I'll start thinning out, maybe. So one tip on airbrushing, if you're going to paint metallics, you better start with non-metallics first, because the pigment of metallic paints will or might stay on your airbrush, and you might accidentally paint silver paints. Like it's gonna mix on your normal colors.
Yeah.
If it's left in there, so you might wanna start with normal colors. Say for example the red and grays and black, and then later on start with finish up with the golds. The silver, something like that. Yeah, metallics.
Or if you're crazy enough, get 2 airbrushes.
Yeah. Right, so this.
I'm just kidding.
Let's start with the primer. I'll prime these guys first with this, and then color them as with the shading of gloss black.
So one important tip is actually to always prime your parts before you start painting. Primer, especially something like surfacer primer, kind of has a few advantages. It helps the paint stick better to the plastic surface, because normally plastic on its own has a very, very smooth surface. Paint doesn't really catch on that well. If you're painting, it looks like it's staying on, but after a while it tends to chip off. So primer gets you that that surface needed to kind of have the paint adhere on. And depending on what color of primer that you're going with, that can also help with your tones. Gray is something like of the middle ground. If you want a more vibrant color, you go with like white.
The camera? Okay. It's back?
Yep.
Sorry about that. I kinda pulled the plug accidentally.
Yep. So it's always important to kind of start with your primer before doing any of like the actual color work for painting. And this is a bottle jar primer that can be applied with the airbrush, and we're actually going to show that to you now.
Let's see if this thing is still alive. I think it's already thinned, but we'll add a bit of thinning up. Some stick. Other sticks. Try this.
Yes, for a couple of questions from the comments. Does airbrush give you more control? It's very similar to using a spray can, but you can control how much paint and how much air does flow out. So you can get some fine lines, you can go wide areas. You have a lot of control with it, actually.
Way more control.
Johnny says he has a dedicated airbrush only for metallic paints. Of course. We've seen some of your metallic works, Johnny. Like seriously, you've got to share some more photos with us. What's your next project? If you prime and mask, the paint won't peel off with tape. You learned that the hard way. Yeah, because you need that initial layer to have the paint properly stick on first. Otherwise, it's just gonna come off. So don't be afraid to actually make mistakes. That's one thing that determines what a good modeler is. We learn, we keep going on. Oops. Yeah, don't be afraid to actually make mistakes. Learn from them and move on. That's what a good modeler makes, actually.
Alright, so added some thinner and mix. Okay.
Is it working?
Suppose. Let's see. Wait. Is it on?
I think so.
There we go.
Aha.
Just off. Okay, wait. Something wrong with the paint. With the airbrush.
Oops.
I think we have to clean the airbrush again. We already cleaned it before the stream, but seems that there's some plug on the airbrush.
Okay. Well, bonus. You got a quick tutorial on airbrush cleaning.
Yeah. Alright, so
Looks like there's air coming out, but no paint.
no paint. Alright, so let's clean it up first.
How do you send your build photos? Can I just upload them to the gallery? Yes, you can visit our website, otakumi.com. Scroll down and you'll see our image gallery. You can log into your account and directly upload images, and our team will review the images and add them to the specific categories. You just have to fill in the information, like what techniques did you use, the name of the kit, and so on. Square images work best for the upload.
Or you have to upload square images itself. Otherwise, it will not look good on the gallery itself. You know. Okay, just clean up first.
Johnny's working on a silver Porsche. Of course, it has to be metallic. Nice choice with the 917K, actually. Like to get another airbrush, Otaku airbrush. Great to see that you're enjoying it.
There's some plug in it, so I have to fix that. So when you're cleaning your airbrush, you have to make sure that the needle comes out first. You don't want to damage your needle, or the paint flow will not be good for you. And this is what we need.
So that is a small wire brush. I can really creep into the small crevices to scrub out any residue of paint.
Come on. Go inside. Ah,
There you go.
This big guy for large area here.
Make sure that it's all properly neat inside the chamber.
Okay, so let's put them back. And
Personally, it's a very satisfying process. I kind of like the reconstruction of airbrushes.
make sure everything's correctly placed. Slippery.
How does it look, Mickey?
Let's hope it's okay. Green. Something weird about this, some airbrush. You tested it before off-cam? It's not working on-cam.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep this back in.
Let's see. Oh, there you go.
Much better.
Yeah, it's working now. Yep.
There's the airbrush.
Okay, just going up and then let's start over. Okay. Up. Up.
Okay. So we're just gonna grab some
Paper just in case we don't want to paint over this
we wanna-
beautiful cutting mat.
So it looks like there's a couple of questions in the comments. How to remove seam lines. Yeah, you're gonna wanna use plastic cement, as Johnny said. Plastic cement actually works by melting the plastic just a tiny bit. And when you connect it to another piece, it permanently fuses the two together, creating one solid piece.
Try to like check out our live stream wherein we did some tutorials of basics of Gunpla. So
Clean build basics.
Yes, that's where you will get those details. Well, what happened? Yeah.
Okay.
Just ignore those text around it. There's some text.
Okay.
Okay, game. Okay. Let's put this back.
Yep.
I
So
already thinned it out, so you don't have to worry about that.
a good tip when you're thinning your paints, especially with airbrushing, you want to aim for the consistency of milk. If you've ever seen milk drip, you kind of want to aim for the same thing. It depends on what sort of paint you're using. Acrylics, for example, are already quite thin, so you don't need that much thinner. The thinning ratio is about half and half, 1-to-1 with acrylic paints, but again, it depends on the brand you're using. With lacquers, for example, it's somewhere between 2 parts thinner and 1 part paint,
There you go.
because lacquers are normally quite thick when they start off with, but so long as you get that consistency of milk, you should be good to go.
So first things first, you might want to blow some air on your kit to remove some dust. You know, you don't want the dust to stay on your kit forever. Just dusting. There you go.
Yep.
It's okay, you can see it.
Can you guys see it? Is it a bit dark or light? Let us know.
Maybe your screen is dark.
Perhaps.
It's okay. Yeah? Alright, I'll start now.
Okay. Yep.
My ratios.
When you're airbrushing especially, there are like a few things to keep in mind. The thinning of your paints, the distance at what you're painting at, then the pressure, the air pressure that's coming out. Because all these factors actually affect the overall finish of the paint. If you guys can see that fine.
I think I need to add something now. Maybe. When airbrushing, make sure you don't stay on one place like this, because it's gonna collect some paints on it and it's gonna drip. So make sure you're moving your airbrush along with your part, so that don't happen.
That's also a really important tip. Keep moving. There's actually a couple of preferences when it comes to each modeler. Some guys like to move the airbrush, some guys like to move the part instead. There's also this very helpful rotating base by Tamiya that does like it's a moving platform, especially when you're painting large pieces of sculpture or large parts like a car body, scale model plane. You can actually rest the model on that platform and rotate it around as you're painting it.
Let's see how it goes.
I think it's called the Tamiya Spraywork set.
Yeah, Spraywork set. Alright. There's your... Oh, there's a bit more red.
You want to cover all the areas.
I still see red.
There's a question in from Paolo. What happens if I don't prime first? You'll find that the paint doesn't properly stick on the plastic. After a few days, it's gonna start chipping off. Or if you're doing any masking work, the masking tape will immediately rip off that paint layer, because there's nothing really holding the paint to the smooth surface of the plastic. Primer creates a perfect surface where paint can properly catch and adhere on. So that's why you want to prime your models first. We can't stress this enough. We've seen a couple of guys do that mistake. I'm also guilty of that mistake at one point.
You guys notice I added more thinner because the ratio is in the way I like it. Depends on your preference as well. So it should be okay.
Yeah. But then again, like we always learn from our mistakes.
Oh yeah, on ratios, you always go for 1:2 or 1:3 in terms of lacquer paints. It also works on acrylic, like I think.
Some acrylics, yeah.
But yeah, on lacquers, go 1:2 or 1:3. It depends on how thick you want your paint would be. Or if you're doing layering, you want your paint to be thin, like multiple shades of colors in the same paint. So I like that.
So we're also using what's called as leveling thinner. And leveling thinner is actually a special type of paint thinner. The difference is that it has paint retarder mixed into it. And what that does, it actually somewhat slows down the drying time of the paint. And when a paint has more time to dry out, it has more time to level and even out. It's very, very forgiving in the fact that you can add more thinner than you need to and it will still be okay. And it results in a smooth finish. Typically when we're using leveling thinner, we aim about like 1 part paint, 2 parts thinner, or we can even go up to 3 parts thinner. That's still okay. It depends also on like how we paint. So the distance, the air pressure, also points to keep in mind.
just blow air on them so that I don't forget. Air.
You really want to avoid all specks of dust.
Of course. Right.
So it looks like you're layering on the paint there. That explains why you want it to be somewhat thin. So you can actually build up the tone.
I have more control if the paint is like more or less 1:3. That's what I'm used to.
And I noticed that you're not pulling back on the trigger as much.
Yes, I don't want the risk of spraying so much of paint, and after that, there's no going back of overspray. Controlling that much.
So if you guys have any questions on the painting process, or if there's anything you want to learn, leave a comment down below, or you can actually follow us as well on our social media. Facebook, Otaku Middle East, or Instagram, _OtakuME. And you can also send us a message or tag us in your current project with any questions, and we'll get to you. Yeah.
It's focusing on my hand. Sorry. Okay, I need to keep distance then.
Oops.
Is it gray enough?
Yep.
Glossy gray. Weird. So the hair.
So as you can see here, Mickey is constantly rotating the piece. And the airbrush, you're not staying too long in one area, and while you're moving, you're also covering up like different patches. So you're also layering on the paint. One good tip as well, when you're airbrushing for beginners, when you're trying to like do a coverage on your part, as soon as you see the paint start to gloss and shine, that's kind of like an indicator that it's almost about to drip. So you really want to just keep moving. Because if you stay in one area for too long, it can lead to too much paint collecting in one area. It starts to puddle and starts to drip. So it's always a good idea to kind of like keep moving, keep rotating. Okay, let's see.
Turned out glossy. Yeah, okay. And maybe I'll add another layer to this because it's a bit rough. I know you shouldn't add layers on primer because just primer, but if it's not consistent on what I did earlier to the hair, it's gonna look different.
There's a top tip for you. Keep their paint consistent. Actually, speaking of like red parts, I think red is one of the more tricky colors to kind of like prime properly. For some reason, it always still appears through the primer. It does eventually get covered up by the paint, but So I don't know. Personally, I find red kind of like tricky to properly cover up.
We'll find out later.
We'll find out later.
Alright, so that's it for the grays.
Mm-hmm.
So we primed this guy, his hair, and then the rest, the parts.
Okay.
We'll let it dry for a few minutes.
Johnny, ASMR airbrushing.
Yes.
It is very relaxing.
Get a load of that. Alright, so which one should I go for next? I guess I should go for black. But after this thing dries. So let me clean it up.
Yep.
I'm done with the primer. Because the blue is going to be different, as you guys noticed. It will not be completed today. I'll do it off cam because I like to try something else. Alright. And you have excess paint. I have a lot. Put it back. Don't want to waste paint because
Once you have that like spot on mix, save it. Save it. I can't tell you like how many spare bottles I invested in actually.
Yeah.
Something like I personally have maybe 20 or so spare bottles, and I'm still like asking for more.
You have one color per, one bottle per color.
Yeah. So then I have like different colors and different mixes.
Let's clean up.
So what you're using there is Mr. Hobby's tool cleaner.
Yes.
Really strong stuff.
Yep, you don't want to inhale any of these that much. It's not really good for your lungs. Just kidding.
Unless you're like pro modelers.
Yeah, they're used to it. Me, I'm still getting used to it though. Alright.
So
Of course, we're not done cleaning. Okay.
So you want to make sure that all the primer is like flooded out of the airbrush,
Yep.
so it doesn't mess with the tone of the paint you're going to be using.
So now, I have to disassemble again. Make sure everything's cleaned. I don't want other color to be painted over my proper paint.
Mm-hmm.
Paint here. And you might notice you'll be consuming a lot of tissues.
Always good to keep a box handy.
Yeah. Alright, so this goes in here. I'll be needing these guys again.
What's your next color, Mickey?
I'll go for the gloss black for the rest of the shading. I'll do pre-shading
Okay.
because I don't want it to be like plain
Plain red.
plain
or
red and plain yellow.
Uh-huh.
A bit of shading at least.
I see.
Which would I use? Any tissue.
And that's another really good tip when you're painting. It helps to give some tone variation with your paints. So as Mickey said, he's going to be using a dark color to give some sort of shading effect in the recesses of the part. You can also go the opposite and add like lighter colors to the raised areas to give more like highlighting. So it also plays on like how the end result will look like on your model. It gives more the different tones of colors. It's like more attractive and it gives more depth to your parts.
If you have this, just make sure everything's cleaned. Open this way. I just hope I don't spill anything during the life.
Be careful. So, we did mention that we are going to be doing a discount code giveaway. So, while you're cleaning your airbrush, should we go ahead and reveal one of the characters in the code? Alright. So, 3, 2, 1. Can you guys see it? The first character is F. So, as the stream goes on, we will slowly start to reveal all the characters of the discount code. And the premise of the code actually is 4 lucky viewers by the end of the stream can use this particular code. And we're bringing back our old good friend, the spinning wheel. Alright, so at the end of the stream, we will be spinning this around, and whatever discount it lands on will be the discount valid for that code right there. And this can be anywhere between 15% all the way up to 30%.
You guys want to miss that? Keep watching.
Yep. So any 4 lucky viewers at the end of the stream will be able to use the complete code for online orders on our website otakume.com. So a good tip, actually, if you have a shopping cart ready. Yeah. All right.
Keep cleaning.
So let's get back to the stream.
Well, we're still in stream anyway.
Okay, point.
Okay. Clean the insides as well. And this part.
Hey, Galactus! Long time! How's it going? Glad to have you back on our stream.
How's your PG?
He's building a PG?
Yeah. He got his PG around his birthday, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah. Striped Rouge, if I remember correctly.
That's a nice kit to build, actually.
Yeah.
Any plans on painting, Galactus? You've come to the right place.
I know it may look so tedious on like clean up the airbrush, mixing paints, preparing the paints to be ready, like preparing the parts to be ready, prep works. Prep work is your like 90% of the project.
Yeah.
And then just 10% for the painting.
But then again, it is that like 90% that's super important.
Yes.
Because all the prep work determines on what the final finish will be like. If you rush, if you hurry up some key steps on your prep work, your paint's gonna be rough, it's not gonna look as well, some parts will be inconsistent. So it is tedious, but it's really important that this
Also in cleaning airbrush, but it's important to clean airbrush every time you use. Because if you don't, it will clog. There will be paints all over your kits. That is not wanted.
So what's that you're applying there, Mickey?
So this one is what you call this? Grease. Yeah, grease. I lost the word there. So it's a grease that you put on this piece right here, right inside that section here. We just clean that again.
So Galactus says, coincidentally, he's planning to actually paint the kit, but he's gonna use spray cans. Is it that perfect grade of yours? Let us know what kit you're planning to paint.
Sorry, I'm going off cam again. Alright, so this, we close this guy right here, then put some grease. Any amount of grease is okay as long as it's covered like that, and you insert. Oops, it didn't go in.
Johnny almost got a heart attack when you dropped the nozzle. Woo! Galactus, not gonna be the perfect grade though, if you're to mess it up. I mean, if it's a PG. True. But some guys actually do customize perfect grades. What they actually do is they'll pick up a high grade version of the kit, kind of test out their paint scheme, their colors, and then go ahead with the perfect grade model. Not too many guys do customize perfect grades, but there is one beautifully painted and polished PGS tray over on display at our store.
Yes.
I heard from the modeler that it took about a few months of like painting.
Just polishing.
Just polishing, like it's painting and then
Painting and polishing, that's it.
There you go. Like again, 90% is like all the other work and 10% is just painting. But it is a very beautiful finish. And it's on display at our store.
Alright. This goes in here. Come on. There we go.
Okay.
Close this up. Do we still have voice?
Yeah.
Still have? Okay. This.
So if it's not a perfect grade, what are you planning to paint?
Okay, not enough grease. It's not greased enough. There's still paint. Okay.
Yeah. And this is why you want to make sure that the airbrush gets a thorough cleaning.
Yeah.
So paint doesn't get stuck in various areas and it doesn't mess up your airbrush.
Sorry guys, cleaning up takes a while, but it has to be done because we don't want any mess around painting. Grease again. Put it inside.
Okay. Galactus says he's planning to paint his entry grade. Might as well try scribing. Good choice, especially with the new entry grade Gundam. Fairly quick kit to kind of put together. And not a lot of parts, so it's a good base foundation to kind of practice your painting and building skills. And with a lot of the wide surfaces on that, it's also a good base to kind of practice scribing as well. Can't wait to see what you're gonna do there. But once you're done, or if you have any progress shots, actually tag us in your like social media stories, or you can share some work with us over on the image gallery on our website. So for anyone watching us now, we actually have more viewers coming in. Hey guys! If you're new to our channel, you can hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified on when new videos will be uploaded. Everything from kit reviews to tutorials and live streams such as this one. Or you can also follow us on our social media, Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook, we're Otaku Middle East. On Instagram, we're _OtakuME. Because we do post announcements, special events, tutorials, all on our social media. Kind of helps everyone with the hobby. All set? Thank you.
Under around with the cleaner. Oh, sorry. Just making sure that there's no gray paints around it.
Okay.
Alright, so let's continue. Oh wait, this. Don't forget the cap. Well, by the time that I finish cleaning up the paint,
it's already cured.
Yeah.
Let me help you with these.
Yes, please. Thank you. Alright. Clean up. So what's gonna be next is this. So what I wanna do is like create some shadows on the paints, not just like, say for example, you see those dark yellows around it? I'll try to like create something like that maybe. But I'm not the pro, huh? I've done pre-shading, but not that precise. But this airbrush is actually good for that, so I want to do that. I like the airbrush.
So it's we're using the Wave Super Airbrush Junior, and that's a 0.3 millimeter nozzle airbrush. And the lower the number means the finer lines you can achieve with your airbrush. So 0.3 is also kind of like somewhat fine. It's kind of like your middle ground between something like a 0.2 or 0.5.
Paint drips. And some stick again. And then, oh, I hate blacks. Yeah, blacks always like to drip on its own for some unknown reason.
Okay. Looks like you're gonna need
a lot of tissues.
Yeah, there you go.
For SPD. Clean up. Yeah, see, messy.
There's a saying, if your workstation isn't messy, you're not a true modeler.
Who says that?
I've heard it around.
James will kill you. His workstation is always clean.
Question in from Galactus. Is it alright to use spray primer on top coat? I got a can of top coat and tested it on a shield. I want to know if I have to remove the top coat and then spray primer on it directly. It depends on what sort of top coat you got actually. If you have something like the blue Mr. Hobby cans, like any water-based top coat, it's not that advised because primer is lacquer, and lacquer is much stronger. It's a stronger type of paint. If you have weaker paint like water-based on top, below it, it's gonna run actually. But if your top coat is also lacquer-based, you can safely apply a new coat of primer on top, and that should be fine. If it's lacquer and lacquer, there's no issues. Johnny has a question for you, Mickey.
Yeah.
Any reason why you use black and gray for shading and not gray and white?
Because how should I say this? I'm going for the different color, like yellow. I want the like the color to show a bit darker. Because if I use primer in white, the paint's gonna be lighter, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct. Johnny, you're
Stop it, Johnny.
Stop it, Johnny. Alright, so yeah, gray primer to make the paints like show its real color, I should say, something like that. and then black to make those parts darker.
Mm-hmm.
So because I don't want a bit of too light on my colors. Say for example this orange yellow. If I use white, it's gonna be a bit of light yellow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And it looks like you're spraying very, very thinly and just going in the recessed areas.
Just the edges so that
you're aiming where like shadows naturally fall.
yep.
So you're building up that contrast. Here's a question, Mickey. Are you gonna paint the inside as well?
Of course.
Always paint every corner of your piece that's gonna be visible. Inside, outside, it helps. Trust me, guys.
My aim is still not good, as you guys can see, but I'm trying my best with this airbrush. I think that would be enough. It's covering. I'm sorry.
That's sort of
That kinda is what I'm aiming for, and then the rest is gonna be red. So this area, those areas is gonna be darker red, and then normal scarlet yellow, red. Same goes for this. I need to aim properly. Let me just get my proper aim position.
And airbrushes actually have this unique thing where you can
Yes.
control like how far you pull back on the trigger. So Mickey's using a double action airbrush, and double action means he has control with air and he has control with paint, and it's all on like one trigger. The more you pull back on the trigger, the wider the spread of paint. So if you don't pull back all that much, you can get some very fine and thin lines, and you can actually control that from the end of the airbrush. There's a small knob that you kind of turn, and it controls how far back you can pull.
So if it's focusing so much on the airbrush, I'm aiming on the. I have to get close actually because I will not be able to see the lines if I don't do that. I have to get close.
That's okay.
It's a bit of it. The hair is gonna be the tricky part. Where is the shadow? So the shadow is going to be somewhere under the hair, right? Like those spikes area. So we're gonna paint on them slowly.
Question from Galactus: super clear UV is lacquer? It is lacquer, so you can just safely apply a new coat of primer on top of that. But if you really want to be 100% safe, we recommend using a spare piece of plastic first before actually working on your model. If it's already like top coat, just apply a burst of top coat, let it cure, then test out with your primer. It should be safe, but get a feel for how you're going to work with it. You're trying to aim your best.
Yeah. Alright, so the next.
So you're just following the natural lines on the plastic.
Should be darker. Right. always curious of what I'm doing. What am I doing? Accidentally sprayed on that.
To be honest, it is a pretty fun process, actually. For anyone watching us now, have you painted your kits, or are you new? Are you a pro into painting?
I should reduce
And-
the PSI.
And what sort of kits do you normally paint, and how long have you painted for? We want to know.
Create some shadows around. Okay. If this is my hair, how would it look like this? I want the shadow properly. Okay.
So it looks like we're already an hour into the stream. Let's reveal another character for the discount code. So discount code, next character coming up. Boom. Can you guys see it? So that is a at symbol. So 2 characters so far on the discount code. That's F and at. Note it down, guys, because by the end of the stream, we will give you the complete code here. And any 4 lucky viewers from our stream can use this code on our website, otakuimi.com. And we will be bringing back our old friend, the spinning wheel, that will determine what percentage this discount code will be. It's gonna be between 15% to 30% off on your whole cart. So you can actually get a heads up by adding stuff to your cart right now, but after you log into our website, otakuimi.com. Alright, guys?
Alright, so that's about it. I guess for the black. Let's see. I still have a lot of paint. Again, don't waste your paint.
Don't waste your paint.
Ow. Oh yeah. Before I clean up, so these are this is the front of the face, the head. So as you can see the dark area, also the cape down there. So that's the black area. And at the back, there's more black paint on the back because that's gonna be the back side of the hair. Alright.
So you're also taking how the light is gonna shine on the kit.
It's dried already, don't worry.
It's on the screen, right?
Shut up. Alright, so that's shadow. This is a bit of, there's a lot of splatter of black, but we can cover that with yellow. Okay, put this back.
We have a new viewer, Ronald J. Hello, welcome to our stream. He says he's got a airbrush kit and he's planning to customize and do a Land Manrodi custom. Very nice choice, actually. It seems to be more like the Coven custom theme with the Manrodi kits. In fact, one of our staff here, Eli, has done a custom on it too. You can actually check out one of our previous posts.
Before Bandai makes it.
Before Bandai made it.
Ally.
And great, you're actually catching us on the stream here because one of the ideal colors for that kit is going to be a white and a yellowish orange, actually.
Yes.
And since you haven't used your airbrush yet, you can actually pick up a couple of tips from our stream here. Of course, you're going to need your airbrush, your compressor. Always keep your maintenance kits in handy, something like a wire brush and spare grease to kind of help with the cleaning of your airbrush. It is an investment, so you really want to take proper care of your tools. That's a really important thing.
Number one rule.
Yeah.
Get your tools complete. Get a complete set of tools so that you don't have to worry about your future builds.
Yep.
Because you just buy, say for example, just airbrush and a compressor without tool cleaner or your airbrush cleaning kit. What you gonna do?
You're gonna be stuck.
Yeah, gonna be stuck after one paint and
Yeah.
wait for it to be clean. You're gonna use tool cleaner or something.
Yep. So another top tip is Mickey has painted like with a dark color, so he's properly like cleaning the airbrush and flooding out any dark color. Because what's your next color gonna be?
Do you guys want me to start with the gold now?
Yeah, go. Yes.
Would you like? Yes.
Okay.
Would you guys like to see the gold?
Because I want to see as well.
Okay, I think we want to see the gold.
Alright, so
There's another question from Ronald. Airbrush painting doesn't require a respirator mask. It is kind of a good idea to kind of have your safety equipment on first, because with airbrushing paints, with an airbrush generally, you're gonna have a lot of the fumes kind of coming out, especially with the type of paint you're using. What we're using here are lacquer paints, and lacquers are normally quite strong solvents, so they have a strong smell. So we kind of want to have like proper ventilation. We don't want any fumes getting into our systems. So it's a good idea to kind of have your safety equipment on there.
so first,
He's asking what liquid did we use to clean the black.
Oh. It's this.
It's just Mr. Hobby's tool cleaner. It's a strong liquid that kind of strips off like every type of paint from your tools. It's really, really helpful in cleaning out your airbrushes and other like metal supplies that you might have. But don't get this on your model. Avoid it for plastic. But other than that, it's amazing for cleaning your tools. So you've got clear yellow paint
Clear
there.
yellow. It's already thinned 1:1. Clear is very liquid, so you don't have to thin it so much. Just 1:1 ratio for clear paints. At least that's what I learned from the master.
Yes. When you're airbrushing kits, it always helps to get the thinning ratio just like right. And a good key indicator is you want to aim for the same consistency as milk. If you've ever seen milk drip, aim for the same thing. Not too runny, but not too thick either.
Okay, I'll start now.
Okay, so Mickey has previously, from our last stream, painted silver on there, and now he's going over with a clear yellow paint. So the clear yellow combines in with the metallic silver, and you get this. It's actually looking really nice. Almost like a shiny gold brass.
Oh, it's shiny gold brass.
That color.
I only know red, blue, and yellow. That's it. I'm stuck with those colors. I'm one of those guys who only knows 3 colors. Should I keep it like this? Kinda like this though.
I gotta say though, it does match the box art of the kit quite closely.
A bit, yeah. And just trying to make sure that every color has been painted. Every side are painted because if I don't color the entire thing, it's gonna show the silver, and that's not gonna look good. I cannot see where I'm painting actually. Like it's there, but it's not showing.
You're sort of feeling the air where it goes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, there's your goldish yellow. And go for the next part.
Perhaps you can try it on a bigger piece.
Let's look at this small one. Okay, you.
Okay, so that's the leg section.
One leg. Spray big.
So you're also kind of layering on the paint. You're not working in one coat. You're sort of building the layers as you go.
I have to make sure that all the paints are even, because if you just leave it as one coat, you will see still some silver. And you don't want that.
So you're taking your time. You're making sure that every area is coated.
Right. So now second layer.
Yeah. Now with the second layer, as the color is actually like building up, so it creates a stronger tone.
You like it, Paula?
Yeah.
Johnny likes that gold, Mickey. Catches the light very well. Yep. So the base tone was actually like a primer, then gloss black paint, and then super metallic silver. That's what you're seeing before this clear yellow. And that's what we've used so far on this paint process. But you're already a master at painting metallics, Johnny.
You made your own platinum. Why are you asking?
Maybe he's gonna try his own custom mix of gold now.
Yeah. I want to see that.
We want to see that, Johnny.
Right. So that's, I guess, the gold. I'm taking so much time on one area, because one part, because every time I turn, I still see some silver. It might not show in the camera, but you will still see some silver around the corners. I'm just trying to make sure that that's painted. There you go. I hope. See? I still see some silvers. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'll show you guys the difference between them. So you guys.
Yeah. So that's the super metallic silver, and then that's the one with the clear yellow on top of it.
Clear yellow. I think we'll keep in clear yellow instead. Maybe. Let's try something.
What's your plan?
Increase the PSI. I don't know if I can do this correctly, but let's try in one leg. Coat. Let's coat.
So you're just doing a mist coat. You're just kind of catching the thin cloud of paint. You're
Okay, let's see the difference.
So what happens if you spray thinly or go with like different layers.
Yeah, in this one it shows more of the right gold, but there's no going back for this anyway. So I have to follow this.
Yeah.
But in my next paint, maybe I'll do this color. Okay, I got it now. I'm experimenting as well.
You're learning, and that's the important thing. We learn as we go. But yeah, actually, it's a very nice thing you found out there, Mickey. There's a top tip for you guys. So when you're airbrushing, for anyone new joining us, there's a couple of key points that you want to take into account. It's how well you thin your paints, the distance of your airbrush and your part, and what pressure you're kind of going with. So when you're thinning your paints, you really want to aim for that same consistency of milk. Too thin, and you'll start having a few issues with your paint. You'll find that it's not adhering properly. It kind of folds over the edges. It's way too thin. And when it's too thick, you'll find that the flow isn't quite well with your airbrush. It's kind of almost spitting in a way. And it also helps to test your pieces before you actually like work on test your paint before actually working on a piece of your kit. So any spare pieces of plastic, like plastic spoons for example, can be great bases to test your paint and colors.
Can I check if they're even?
This one's a bit dark, like stronger in the color.
Yeah, I still see some silver on this. Maybe let's wait for this, the other one to dry, and see. Maybe it can start. Consistent on my painting.
Then when you're painting, the distance between your airbrush and the part also makes a big difference, because the closer in you go, and if you're keeping a consistent pressure, then that much of paint is just getting more focused and concentrated on one area rather than being spread out. So if you're gonna go closer, it helps to kind of get a control on the trigger. You don't want too much or too less. A good tip is actually work with less, because you can build up the paint as you go along, instead of focusing too much and you're just kind of splattering paint without going back on it. And of course, the air pressure coming out of your compressor is also a big factor. With like flat colors, I hear it's best to kind of work between 15 to 18 psi. And if you're going more gloss and shiny bright colors, then a higher pressure is required, something between 20 and above.
Need some space. I need some space. Yeah, this one does not have enough gold on this side, that's right.
And then, like, we also do airbrush tutorials at our store in Dubai. Actually, you can drop by our store at Sunrise Building, Al Safa 2. It's just walking distance from Al Safa metro station. And we have our in-store painting stations. You can actually rent out the equipment from us. And we can also teach you guys on how to airbrush and various techniques as well. So if there's something you'd like to learn, just give us a call at our store, message us on like Facebook or Instagram, and we will be able to help you out there.
So in making sure that you have even paints, just put them together always. This one does not have much gold.
That's a top tip for you guys. You can actually compare parts together and see what areas don't have enough paint or has too much. You can get a really good indicator.
Let's continue. I'll let those dry first and then see later on.
With airbrushing as well, I find like everyone kind of has their own personal unique technique and preference when it comes to painting. I've seen guys that move the airbrush, then guys who move only the part, and then you're doing both. You're moving the airbrush and the part. You also tend to spray quite close. I personally spray a little bit further. So there's various techniques, and I think it's something that you build and develop as you go along with the hobby.
It looks good on the camera. You guys like that? Is it too dark or no?
Is the video a bit too dark for you guys? Let us know in the comments if everything's fine.
Can you increase your brightness?
Oh,
I cannot see on your.
That's max brightness.
Okay.
So there's a question from Ronald J. I got Mr. Surfacer 1200 for primer. Do I need to thin it? Yes. If it's just fresh out of the bottle, you'll find that it's quite thick. And if you pour it directly on the airbrush, it's gonna get clogged inside because the paint is way too thick. There's not a smooth flow of air, so you do need to thin it down. If it's just fresh from the bottle, we recommend giving it a really good mix for at least a minute, or you can use like a paint stirrer or one of the electronic ones, just zzz, done. Or you can also we have these stirring balls. It's a small metallic bead you can drop into the bottle and give it a good shake, and it mixes the paint for you.
It is best for like a pre-thinned, like a thin paint.
Thin paint, yes.
Because it helps your paint to mix well again on the thinner.
Yep. Then when you're thinning it, actually, Mr. Surfacer is a lacquer-based product, and lacquer normally is super thick, so you need to add thinner to it. The thinning ratio is somewhere between 2 parts thinner.
Closer.
Yeah. 2 parts thinner to 1 part paint for lacquers. So
let's try.
So when you're thinning down any lacquer stuff, generally just keep in a close look on how it flows. So generally between 2 parts thinner and 1 part paint, 66% to 33%. How's the video looking for you guys?
Keeping one layer for now to see how it would look like, and then later on we'll see if all the paints are even, and then add layers just in case. The smell of clear paint is a bit different.
Yeah. I think you need to recenter. Okay. So while Mickey is going about painting the rest of the pieces, let's go ahead and reveal another character in the discount code. Are you guys ready? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. It's already there. So 3 characters for the discount code that we are giving away. That's F, the @ symbol, and T. Foxtrot at Tango. Make sure you note these characters down, because by the end of the stream we are revealing the rest of the characters, and any 4 lucky viewers will be able to use this discount code on the checkout page for our website otakuami.com. If you're grabbing a good kit or painting supplies, hey, it's a good chance to get a discount. Alright, make sure you guys have that noted down. Okay.
Let's start with the big one.
Ooh, the big piece. It is, yeah, It's looking quite good there. So, recenter?
Yes.
I noticed that this gold is like the old gold of Bandai. With a bit of dull yellow. But I'll add more so that we don't get into that gold. Shiny boy.
So, question in from Ronald. What's the mixing ball that you said? It's a small metal ball that you can actually add into your paint bottles and give them a good shake, and that ball helps steering the paint with your thinner. It's called GT73 Mr. That's MR dot steering metal ball.
Yeah, maybe we can share the link to them.
Yep. Just a moment. We'll send you guys the link directly to our website, but it's currently out of stock online. I think you'll have to go to our store in Dubai. If you're in Dubai, we're just at Sunrise Building, Al Safa 2, just walking distance from Al Safa metro station.
Sorry guys. I'm trying to paint the way that you guys can see, and I'm sitting upright, which is not my usual painting style. I'm usually slouching and painting. This
The sacrifices. But this is the metal steering balls are just kind of like one way to mix up your paint. We also have like paint stirrers that you can get and just like stir the paint normally. There's an electronic paint mixer, which, to be honest, does save you a lot of time. It's literally just grabbing your paint and zzz, and it's done.
That's one way better actually. It's way better than like maybe the
steering ball.
Steering ball, because the steering ball, if it's there in your paint and it's painted,
you can't see it.
You can't remove it anymore. It's there. It's already colored. Otherwise, you wanna clean that up and put it on another paint bottle.
Aha, I see. Whoop. Okay.
Focus.
Maybe you can zoom out a little.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, Johnny is right. This coat of paint actually does catch the light really, really well. I might use it on my next project.
You going metallic now?
Yeah. We've seen the custom paint challenge that we recently had. There's a lot of submissions with metallic colors, and I'm feeling sort of inspired, actually.
Okay, I think that's enough gold for now.
Let us know if you guys want another paint challenge coming up. We might do something.
Or maybe Modeler's Cup.
There is something to look out for.
Modeler's Cup, maybe. Johnny has already been preparing for Modeler's Cup. I don't know why he's preparing, but we have not announced anything yet.
Just waiting for the event.
Just waiting for the event.
It's just
Since
like
2020.
Hey, new viewers coming in. Ray Ramos TV, how you doing? Welcome back to our stream. Johnny says he's gonna steal your formula.
There's no formula.
Super metallics.
Plankton.
1:1.
Plankton.
1:1 ratio of clear yellow. That's it. Okay, share your platinum formula as well.
Do a trade
I
off.
want that.
But you see, this is the hobby. You're building a community here. You're sharing tips and advice.
Yellow.
That is looking really good.
Let's place again. Ow.
To the palm.
Maybe closer. Oh, went off cam. Sorry.
Oh, it's
Here's the airbrush.
it's focusing on the airbrush. There you go. Oh, off.
It's like you're waiting. Hey.
Hey guys, all the new viewers to our stream. So for everyone catching us just now, we are doing a painting tutorial using the airbrush, and we're giving you guys a couple of tips on painting. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments and we'll do our best to catch you guys. But we are kind of painting the Petit Rise Gilgamesh from Fate Grand Order, one of the newer kits from Bandai Spirits. It's a small figure, but one that's like really nicely detailed, as you can see on the parts while Mickey is painting him. There's a lot of engraved detail, even on the smallest pieces. But let us also know like what kits you guys are painting. If you have any pending projects, you can share your builds with us. Tag us on our social media. On Facebook, that's Otaku Middle East. On Instagram, it's _OtakuME. Or you can share your builds directly on our website under the image gallery at otakume.com. Regularly as well, we do tutorials and kit reviews and live streams such as this one. You can subscribe to our channel here. It really does help a lot, guys. It helps us get more content out, and you can also hit the bell icon to be notified when a new video goes up on our channel or a heads up on any announcement on live streams.
There's your holy grail. Right, let's see if I still have enough paint.
Still?
Close.
Wait, before you paint the last piece, you want to give the new viewers a before and after?
Oh yeah. Alright, so well, I have a tiny piece here for before. Nice try, Mickey.
That's okay.
Alright, and then this is your after.
And that's just with super metallic silver and clear yellow, and
Clear
that's
yellow.
it.
Yep.
Okay. The last piece of the armor to be painted.
Goodbye, silver.
I gotta say though, that super metallic silver from Mr. Hobby, it's actually a really smooth finish. It already comes thin from the bottle, right?
It's pure pigment actually.
Ah, so you do need to add thinner.
You need to add. It's the ratio is 1:1 as usual for it because it's pure pigment,
Okay.
and you don't want your metallic to be too spread if you add way too much thinner. So what I did on this is 1:1 ratio, and that's what it came up.
So 1:1, exactly half.
Yes.
So a really nice coating, and really convenient to also kind of do your prep work with. Just mix half and half. Super metallic.
But of course, you won't attain this with just spraying silver on top of their primer. You have to go with gloss black as well. You need to make sure that your paint will reflect back with the light.
Yes. So the gloss black paint, it doesn't absorb any light itself, and all that light can be instead focused on the metallic particles on your metal paint. That's why if you can see, maybe from our previous live stream, we actually did it. We coated all the parts that were metallic in a gloss black tone first, then we sprayed on the silver, and it does make a really big key difference.
Now checking all the parts if they have even coating, just like this. It's not properly coated.
Looks like more viewers are joining us. Hey guys! So just going about some couple of tips with airbrushing. Again, if you guys have any questions or anything you'd like to learn, just leave a comment down below and we will get to you.
Or prepare your cards.
Yes,
Prepare your cards.
because we are also doing a discount code giveaway. So we will be revealing another character on this code, and any 4 lucky viewers by the end of the stream will be able to use this code on our website, otakuumi.com, for a discount. Are you guys ready for the next character to be revealed? Make sure you note it down. Okay. 3. So the code so far is F@T3.
Pretty obvious, I guess.
I wonder what it could be. But yeah, make sure you guys note down this code and make sure that you use it on the checkout page by the end of the stream, because the code will only be valid for today.
Sensitive and only for
Yes.
registered.
Yeah, it's also case sensitive. So far I think that's all capitals.
Yes.
And the percentage of the discount code will be determined by our good friend, the spinning wheel. So whatever number this falls on, we will be setting the code to be with that particular discount. It can be anywhere from 15 all the way up to a 30% discount. Make sure you guys note it down, and by the end of the stream, you will get that discount. If you're one of the 4 lucky viewers.
Okay, let's see. Yes, we have things. You guys might notice that I'm going back and forth on each piece because I need to make sure that all the paints are even for each of them. You don't want one piece of armor to be lighter than the other. You know, it's gonna be like, hey, we ran out of paint. Let's keep it this way.
So you're comparing each piece to each other and seeing what needs more, what needs less.
Okay, just like this guy.
Okay.
It's a bit. Okay. Where's the hat pin? Okay.
And of course, you have to make sure that all areas of the piece are like properly coated with paint, because no matter what, there will be an angle where any imperfections can be seen. So now's a really good chance to kind of catch those imperfections and neaten them up.
Okay. See, this is very light.
Yeah. what you're doing there is you're building up the layer so it gives a stronger color.
Another piece. This goes next to each other. So we have paint. Yes.
How's it look,
Alright.
Mickey?
I believe we're done with the yellow, and let's compare both hands now. Oh wait, let's do it like this way. There. And there's your gold. So as you guys can see here, it looks good on camera.
Beautiful, actually. Okay, we need to take photos of this. Kind of like a comparison. How do you guys like that?
We'll put it next to the unpainted version in the store so you guys can see it, and we'll post it as well.
So a couple of questions coming in from Ronald J. What are your thoughts on color mixing? The color mapper is not available, and I'd like to go for the magenta and blue from IBO. You can totally mix colors together. That's fine, so long as the type of paint that you're using is compatible. So if you're working with lacquers, for example, lacquers from Mr. Color can be mixed with other lacquers to get the right shade. If you're after a specific color with Gundam kits, for example, if you look at the instruction manual for the kit, there is a color paint guide, and it tells you what colors and how to mix them. Like you've mentioned McGillis's bluish color. If you're after something like the Schwalbe grays, I think it's a mix of like 60% indigo blue and like 40% white.
You lost at as mixing. We don't know what colors are those.
You can totally mix paints.
But you can mix paints.
Yeah, just reference the color guides at the back of the instruction manuals. You'll usually find it there, but you can totally do that.
Alright, so next is going to be the scarlet.
Woohoo!
I have it tinned already. I used for my previous build. See, this mix has been like 2 years now.
2 years. Is it still alive?
I hope.
There's another
Well,
question.
it's still working, yeah.
There's another question from Ronald. Do you mix paints first and then thin, or do you thin them down and then mix?
I believe mixing them first before you thin, because
Before
you
thinning.
will not get the right color. It's the same thing anyway.
Mhm.
But you mix them first to see if it's the right color that you want, because you don't want to waste some thinner.
Thinner,
It's
yeah.
not
That's a good tip, actually. So mix.
It's not a tip, it's just a guess.
Mix first.
Mix first.
Mix first, then
Just
thin.
kidding. Mix first. Vicky, what are you doing?
Johnny says, "You've heard of Mickey Gold? Now get ready for Mickey Gold."
What's making gold?
That apparently. Okay, so now it's scarlet,
Scarlet.
and that's the Gaia Notes color.
Yes.
Correct?
It's a bit of orangey. I wanted this color, but we don't have it.
Orangey red.
Orangey. Let's pour it in. I just need a few because I only have 2 pieces for this.
Okay, so previously, earlier in the live stream, Mickey did shade some of the areas with black paint, as you can see here. That's creating a shadow,
Yeah,
actually.
okay.
So this technique is called pre-shading. It's where we go in with a dark color of paint that falls on the recessed areas, so it creates like a shadow effect, and you'll see it once Mickey starts putting the scarlet color on there.
Where it is. Constantly reducing my PSI as where I'm used to. Those lines, connect them.
Okay.
Alright, so now I'd focus on the light the gray areas first, so that it's gonna be the right color, and then go over the darker area so that it becomes a bit of reddish.
Mm-hmm.
Start. It's gonna be not so Gilgamesh red, but yeah, still my own Gilgamesh color.
It's funny how you say that, because one of the key things about like customizing or custom painting actually is that you do make it yours.
Yep.
Like anyone can go ahead and build a model kit, but it's the same as like hundreds of model kits out there. So when you customize it, you actually add your sort of like personal touch to it, and hey, that's yours.
Very light. Yep. You guys can see the dark and red color.
Bro.
There you go.
So that's sort of like the effect of the
The
shading.
black, yes. But I'm not gonna cover the entire thing so much with red, because I might cover that black and turn everything into same layer of
Red.
red.
Aha.
Just
That-
making sure that everything is colored the way they should.
That's why you're kind of just aiming for the higher spots most of the time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just making sure that all the paints are even. And there you go. Done with that.
Nice work there.
Then this tiny piece.
There's a question coming in from Ray Ramas. What is a mist coat? So misting is where you're sort of like spraying, not so focused. You're kind of giving your distance.
Like a large spray like this.
Yeah.
Like that. You see here?
And
Spray like that, and that's kind of misting, but you're not staying in one space. You're covering just the entire area with just that, and then letting it dry. And then it's something that would help the paint to like grab on after once you put on the second layer. That's also best for like gloss making, I guess.
Yep. So as Mickey said, you're sort of catching that mist, that cloud of paint. You're sort of coating the whole piece with it. And the idea when you're mist coating is you work in multiple thin layers of paint. It's fine if like the first or second layer looks still like patchy, because once the layers of paint build up, it's an overall smooth, neat, even tone of paint. And yeah, as Mickey said, especially when you're gloss coating, it helps the paint sort of catch on there.
Alright, that's our second. Maybe a bit more. Okay. So, there you go. Pre-shading. Or so at least. Pre-shaded.
So
And next, we're going for the yellow. Oops.
For the hair.
Yep, I still have more here, so I didn't use much.
Okay.
That's how you save paint. Put it back.
Put it back or invest in spare bottles. Okay. You're gonna clean the airbrush?
Yeah, again. Always clean the airbrush.
So while you do that, let's reveal another character for the discount code. So guys, again, any 4 people can use the discount code that we are giving away here. You'll have to wait until the end of the stream for the rest of the characters. But if you're one of the first 4 people to visit our website, grab your items, you can use this discount for use this code for a discount on the checkout page. Ready for the next character? Make sure you note this down, guys. G. So it's F T3G. Make sure you do note it down properly. The code is case sensitive. And if you're one of the first 4 people to kind of catch the entire code, you can use it on the checkout page of our website, otakumi.com.
Or you guys can start guessing though, but the defaults would not be the same after we spin. So yeah.
Yep.
You guys can start guessing. It's pretty obvious, I guess.
Guess the rest of the characters, but the discount code, the discount percentage will be determined by our spinning wheel here. So whatever number that this falls onto will be the value of that discount code. It can be from 15% off all the way up to 30% off.
Alright, next is this orange yellow. We're gonna give Gilgamesh his golden yellow hair into orange because why not?
Why not?
Mix.
There's a question in from Ray Ramos. Is it possible to do a mist coat in 2 different colors, not overlapping them? So long as you have proper, do you mean
2 different colors?
You mean misting in 2 different colors, but not to overlap something else?
Like you mean you missed one color, the reds, and then you missed blue
on the same piece? If it's on the same piece and you don't want the colors to overlap, masking tape.
Yeah, masking tape. But misting, I think he's trying to like create something different, but it's not gonna be as pure color, you know. It's still gonna cover the darker, the lighter color from the darker color. So it might not be a good idea.
Oop. Okay, another question coming in from Ronald J. Why are there so many white base color? Flat base smooth, flat clear, and are all white. These are primers. So surfacer and surfacer primer are primers, as the name suggests. Flat base is not primer.
Yes.
Flat base is something that you can add to paint. Like let's say, for example, this is gloss paint. If you add flat base to this, it turns it into flat black, for example, from gloss to flat. And something like flat super clear, it's actually your clear coat, your top coat. So that's something after painting. A clear coat is a transparent coat of paint, of course, but as the name suggests, whether it's flat or gloss, it results in that sort of finish on your model. It helps protect the paintwork. It's kind of like your gloss or flat coating, but it's the last step. It's not a primer.
Alright, so we'll start with the front hair. A bit of shading as well here. And as you might notice, the yellow as well is one of the hard color to paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow, white, pink, any kind of light color, I guess, because they are very thin and you will not see in your perspective you will not see it colored immediately because it's very light. So you're trying to focus on it, and it might end up creating some flooding, overspray. So you have to be very careful on painting light colors generally, especially white.
Yeah.
Experience that the hard way. Alright, begin. Hello.
So, Ronald J, yep, they're all Mr. Color paints, but again, only Surfacer and Surface Primer are actually primers. If you see super clear means it's a top coat. So that's actually one of your last steps. You put that after painting. It's a clear coat.
Yeah, there you go. Overspray.
Oops.
See that? Around the corner somewhere. Here. Yeah, kinda got oversprayed. But I'll let that sit in. And
So that's when you have too much paint in one area.
yes, exactly.
It sort of starts pooling together.
Up, so you can brush up hairs. Sorry guys if I'm going off cam a bit because I'm trying to aim on the corners first. I don't miss them. Hey, there you go. Yeah. A bit
Not
of
bad.
Orange. A bit more. Yes. The corners. Ah. It's a bit dark in here though. But yeah. There's your yellow. Add more. It's not yellow enough.
But you can definitely see the shading on there.
Blonde hair is actually very hard to pull off.
Light colors.
Because even if it's blonde hair, there are different shades of blonde hair as well.
Why did I choose blonde hair? Could have made it blue.
Gilgamesh has blonde hair.
Gilgamesh, why are you blonde? Why do you have to be blonde? Okay. I think that's enough. Yeah.
Almost Super Saiyan-ish.
Ish.
Color.
Okay.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, I think we can continue with this.
Alright.
So let's compare them first before we go. So this is pre-shaded with gray primer and black, and then now with yellow orange. Orange yellow. Kaya no. Alright. Now, look at this.
There's a top tip coming in from James, Mark, and Sat. Hey, Sir James.
There you go.
You can add clear orange as highlights on the tips too. Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
You guys want to see that?
Let's do that.
Clear orange on the tips as highlights. It adds to have that separation and detail actually. Yes. Definitely
Same
agree.
way as how fire works, I guess.
Fireworks?
Fire. Flame.
Yes. So
Different shades of
So there's like different shades, different lighting. It's all out like to give contrast between the colors, so it's not just like one tone.
Let's try that. Let's see.
It's gonna be Gilgamesh K-pop version. With all the highlights.
If only I can aim properly though. I need to learn my aim as well. Going up, as the master said, from the bottom going up if you're going for shading. Yeah. So you guys can see the hair getting some dark areas, leaving some dark areas.
That's a large piece with a lot of like angles at separation, so you kind of have to take your time, get
Yes.
everything colored evenly.
Need to make sure that I have everything colored. Bottom to up.
So again, guys, for anyone joining us new here, welcome to our tutorial live stream. You can actually subscribe to our YouTube channel. It does help us a lot with getting our content out to you guys. You can also hit the bell icon for a notification on when we next go live or when we have a new video uploaded. We really want to share tips and tutorials such as this with you guys, and it helps everyone in the hobby.
I kind of overspray. Hard to control this thing. I have to let that dry.
And from our viewers, we know that it's a really good mix actually. We've got pros like Johnny, who are like key masters in painting. And we have like some newcomers into painting as well, those guys who want to try them out. Kind of like Galactus earlier, he wanted to give it a try. And seriously, kudos to you guys. It's good to always try new things and experiment and learn.
Like me just now, experimenting.
Like Mickey.
I like to experiment. And the yellows are colored. Is there still shading, or it's gone? Yeah, it's still here, right?
Yeah.
Not much in the camera though.
Bit on the top, but I think it's starting to pull together.
Are you trying to remove the black spots?
Not much, as long as they are colored over yellow over it. Because I don't want the black hair underneath.
Yeah.
To make sure that they're
Fake blonde.
Fake blonde. Fake blonde, there you go.
salon blonde.
Sir James says it's a good tip to kind of take your time in painting your layers, let it dry before adding any new ones, or you'll end up sort of just mixing the yellow with the black and it ends up as like a greenish thing.
Yeah. He can see what I'm doing. I guess I have to let it dry then. Where's okay? The other one. Yeah, they're not even now, so I have to add another layer to this.
Top tip right there. We all gotta take our time just to get like the neat result that we want to. Takes time. But while Mickey is going about that, should we reveal another character for our discount code?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next character to be brought up on the discount code. Are you guys ready?
Next one.
Just the next one. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it is the number 1. Right? So the discount code so far for you guys, that's F at symbol T3G1. So as again, the first 4 people to use this. What was that? Okay. So again, this code will only be valid for the first 4 people to use it on the checkout page of our website, otakumi.com. And we will be using our spinning wheel here to determine what percentage this discount code will be valid for. Make sure you guys note down the code properly and get your carts ready so you guys can use it immediately on our checkout page.
Yes. Alright. Yeah. There's some greenish area because I wasn't patient enough. Greenish area there. We'll cover them up. Okay. Let it dry.
Kinda looks like lollipop.
So, while we wait for that to dry,
Oh yeah, the paint I was using is this orange yellow, so it's a bit orange yellowish. Yeah, you don't say.
yeah, guy knows color. But this also shows like what sort of effect that the primer has. So we used gray primer, which is sort of like a mid-tone primer. It's not completely dark, but not completely like light result either. It's sort of like a mid-tone. And that's also one key thing about what sort of primer color you're using, because primers help with paint sticking to the plastic, but they also help with the tones of your paint.
Ano?
Yung box.
Lagay ko dito?
Hindi ito yung box.
I think this one.
Ah. Ah, okay.
Ano na. Makamaya.
Sige. We'll compare how it will look like compared to the original one.
Why don't you show off that? Yep. Fake blonde.
Fake blonde.
Super Saiyan Gilgamesh. Not so blonde now, huh?
Is that what the SSG means? Super Saiyan Gilgamesh?
I guess. Right, so time to add another layer. Okay.
Is there any particular reason on the direction that you're spraying in?
I'm trying to avoid coloring the black so much, so I'm starting from the bottom, so that those are the areas like the yellow should show, right? Because the black are on the behind the hair, so I'm trying to like color the front side only.
I see. So if you guys have any questions on painting tips, or if there's something you want to learn about the hobby, or any questions for us or at Otaku and me, you can just leave them down in the comments and we'll do our best to catch you guys there. Say also that you're working with like bursts of paint rather than one continuous go. So
I have random stuff, patterns of painting as well. I'm just doing it as well.
I think
Because
it's
if I go continuously, I won't be able to see where I'm going. Unlike the normal painting as I did in the gold where I go straight because I'm trying to color the entire thing.
I see.
Cover the entire thing, but now I'm trying not to cover some dark areas that's supposed to be dark.
So in a way, it's like more controlled.
Let it dry.
Okay.
See if they are even.
So that's the effect of like different layers of paint.
This, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much color in this yet.
Ray Ramos is asking when's the next sale.
We don't know as
Right
well.
now, later.
At the end of
we
this,
see the code.
In the end of the stream, yeah.
end of the stream,
Get ready.
end of the stream. If you're one of the
Lucky 4 guys.
yep the lucky 4, you can use that discount code. Otherwise, you can also follow us on our social media on Facebook. That's Otaku Middle East, or on Instagram _OtakuMe. Because we usually give a heads up on special events and promotions. Or you can also subscribe to our website newsletter at otakumi.com. At the bottom of the page, just leave by your email and you'll get a heads up on any sales and promotions that come your way.
Painting for 2 hours straight.
Feeling character yung Tanjiro, the fire, Hashira.
Fire.
Who's the fire Hashira again? It's the same
Search
color
for Fire
of the hair.
Hashira. Yeah. No, there's black on it.
But it has red, I think.
Rengoku.
Ah, Rango.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same shade.
So it's no longer Gilgamesh.
It's Rengoku.
So now,
That was the
after
plan all
Goku,
along.
Saiyan, it's who's the Hashira?
Speaking of which,
He
the
died. He died. So yeah.
spoilers. Isn't that obvious?
What a major spoiler!
No, I didn't say who.
Mickey. Speaking of which, do any of you guys watch that anime?
All Might died.
What anime?
Does anyone watch Demon Slayer? Kimetsu? Because actually Bandai has announced the entry grade model kit for Tanjiro.
No, it's not integrate.
Is that entry grade?
No, it's a full model kit of Tanjiro.
Really?
Because the what you call this? His clothes are pre-painted into checkered.
For real?
Yeah, it is.
That's actually there on our upcoming section on our website. So coming soon to Otaku.
It's a fixed pose model kit that you have to build, but the claw is pre-painted in
His
dark brown and green.
Pareho nung ano, what's it, yung kamay lang ginagano.
What's that?
What's that kit you built?
Which one?
The girl,
Who?
girl kit.
Who's that?
is asking us some questions.
It's like only part. You don't have to build it, but you have to connect the parts.
Frame arms?
Is it frame arms?
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Saber.
Saber.
Okay, please ignore.
What
Okay.
other character models do we have for this line?
Oh yeah, we have Saber, we have Matsumoto, we have Mash, Cloud,
Gilgamesh that you're painting.
Yes, the female master, unnamed.
It's an ongoing series, right? Or
Yes.
Are they adding more, right?
They're adding more. They end. The last release was Saber Alter or something like that. Wearing her cape and as a King Arthur. And yeah. Yep, we're focusing on this. Sorry.
So
we're talking about purpose.
For a long time.
we have a new viewer, Hunter Hisoka. Says, I love Otaku and me. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on our stream here.
Hunter is over. You're not a fan of Hunter x Hunter. I can tell.
Advait is back. What did you miss? We're still painting the figure here, and welcome back. Hope your studies went well. Mickey is just about finishing the hairpiece. I think it's the last piece that to be painted.
I'll add clear yellow as the master says.
Clear orange.
Clear orange.
Clear orange.
Clear orange.
Hunter Hisoka is asking if we have the Tamiya Supra. If you're looking for the mini 4-wheel drive racer or the scale model kit, the Toyota GR Supra, we actually do have it on our website. That's otakuwimi.com. You can search Supra and it should give you all the results over there.
Is it the red one?
Red one.
Yeah, the GR Supra.
Oh, from the YouTube.
I'm making a lot of mess right here. Let's clean up.
So again, like with swapping colors, you do have to give your airbrush a good cleaning so that the previous shade doesn't affect your new color. Especially if you're working with different tones of paints, it's always like a good idea to kind of keep in mind which colors are darker, which colors are lighter. Because it's easier to paint a lighter color first and then go in with the dark tones. But it depends on what you're painting and how you're painting it.
Painting light color itself is not easy.
Yeah, true.
But going over it is easier.
It's easier. Yep.
That's the right process. Alright, so we'll finally make use of the clear orange. I have to mix this because this is a new paint.
So yeah, finally Mickey doesn't have his pre-tint paint, so you can actually
See me mixing paints?
Yep. So you can actually see what it looks like. So clear colors, as Mickey mentioned earlier, are already somewhat thin on their own. So we don't need to add that much thinner. Half and half.
Yeah, half and a half.
Half and half.
So, I just need a tiny bit of it. You can see.
Dave is asking, do you use thinner for cleaning airbrushes? In a pinch, if you're running short, thinners can work, but it's ideally better to actually use tool cleaner, something like this. It's dedicated for cleaning tools because you really want to save your thinner for actual paint. Like when you're painting, you run out of thinners like quite often, especially if you're working with paints that require a lot of thinning. So you really want to save your paint thinners for that purpose. It's a good idea to have a separate liquid like tool cleaner specifically for cleaning your tools.
That's why it's called tool cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah? You don't say.
You don't say. He's also asking what character. Ooh, audio? Oh, our audio cut out. Okay.
Let's get some back. That one is alive.
It's still okay.
Maybe the audio went a bit different.
Hello?
You know.
Can't. Okay. There we go. Oop. Is it back? Can you guys hear us? Sorry, our mic cut out there, but thank you guys for pointing it out.
Yeah, we don't know when the battery comes off on its own. We keep charging them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it all
Sometimes
good?
it's not enough for one stream.
Is it all good? Can you guys hear us properly?
Right.
Yeah, I think it should be okay now. Yeah. Sorry guys, but thank you for letting us know.
Right. So James said to the edges of the hair, right?
Yeah. As per his tip,
Alright, this is my first time doing this.
on the highlights.
Bear with me, guys.
By the way, Mickey, nice painting.
Huh?
You're actually without
It's very abstract.
Yeah, I'm gonna sell it to
without doing it on purpose.
to an
You
auction.
created a piece of art.
Explain, please explain.
Please explain the piece of art.
As you guys can see here, this is where we started off with the black, and we're trying to brush off the darkness of the
So there's character.
Yes.
So there's character development.
Yes.
It's flow, it's movement, it's kinetic.
Yes. There's more around this area.
Okay. Question from Atves. What character this is from? It's a series called Fate Grand Order. It's an anime series. And we are painting the Petit Rise figure from Bandai Spirits. It's a model kit that comes in very nicely detailed molded parts. And Mickey is going the extra step into like painting it. The plastic itself is like already colored for you, so you can build it and display it straight out of the box. But Mickey wanted to kind of add his touches, customize, change the tones. So that's what we are doing for you guys today.
I can see what you're saying. Flaming hair here. But not so much. Only the paint would listen to me. I think I thinned too much. I didn't add more paint. It's too thin.
This also kind of goes back into the tip of like testing out your paint mix before actually like working on your model, or at least in this case it's recoverable because you didn't really spray a big area.
Yes.
So if you have any spare pieces of plastic or plastic spoons, for example, you can test out your paint mix there before actually working on your model. See how it flows, how the airbrush responds to it. If you're happy with the mix, save it in a spare bottle.
It's kind of like the rule number one. If you like it, save it.
If you like it, save it.
Alright, there you go. Now we add some effects on the edges of the hair, like the tip of the hair. If you guys can see the orange coming up.
Yung mga type of orange.
Yeah,
It's looking good.
it's a bit more.
Gilgamesh with attitude.
He does have an attitude. He's the king. Oop. That's kind of splitting. What's going on?
So yeah, it's also, as we got a tip from James earlier, it's a good idea to also kind of add different tones and colors of paints just to give it more depth and highlight. So we've added depth by adding the black for the pre-shading. We're giving it the highlights with going more of like a orange to complement the yellow that we already had on there.
Like that.
And it adds more contrast, and it's another level of like detailing that you can also do with your paints.
Huh.
So
I
it's
can't
not
do this
like
in Photoshop, but I can do this here. Okay. And I can live with that.
actually it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's not just like one solid color, so there's more depth and vibrancy to it.
Alright, so. Okay. Deep breaths, Vicky.
Ready to do it on the big piece?
and to aim properly. Does it give difference?
Mm.
Okay.
That's pro.
Or even my professional eyes.
Alex? Yeah, okay.
No, diba?
Oh, okay.
So that.
Last two.
So that one.
Together.
Yeah, the clear orange is also kind of like blending very well with the yellow that you had on previously there. I don't know why, Mickey, but I'm getting the impression of like Doritos and cheese.
What? Impression of?
Doritos and cheese.
Doritos and cheese.
Nachos.
We're getting nachos later. Or at least me. Flaming hair. Eh.
Nice.
Another tip when you're painting, know when to stop.
Yeah.
I tend to like forget that part, and sometimes I overspray some colors.
Question from Advice. When he cuts off the knobs on his kit, he gets scratch marks on the piece. Then he has to cut it out with a knife, and it's a pain. Would better cutter like God's hand help? Generally, yes. If you're using a basic cutter, you'll see that the blades are somewhat thick, and it means that you have to do a bit of extra work with like other tools like a sanding file or hobby knife, but it's not too much trouble. There are sharper cutters with thinner blades, and while the cut is generally cleaner, you do have to take care and maintaining those blades because they're thinner, they're a bit more fragile, so they take extra maintenance, but generally they do give sharper, cleaner cuts. So,
But yeah, if you're like, say for example, just trying to get a cutter, thinking a cutter would cut something clean, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You still need to sand everything if you want to make sure that all the parts are knobless. So proper sanding process, progressive sanding would be best to do.
even with the God hand.
Even with a God hand.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess God hand, like the blue one.
Yeah.
I think I feel like the only use for it is for those who doesn't want to do painting, maybe. Like you just want to build and that's it. Or for coated pieces like gold plated. You
Yeah.
cannot sand them down because you will scratch up the paint as well.
So better just go with a clean cut.
Clean cut, yeah, for basic normal builds. But if you wanna go for the real like clean builds, you have to use sanding papers.
It boils down to like your basics of building. Like
Yes.
there are steps, but there's no like proper shortcut to getting a very, very neat result. Like if you want it to be perfect, we need to put the time and effort into it. But it does help, generally.
Or get an action figure.
Even action figures have knobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100% of them have knobs. Ooh, what was that? Okay, when to stop? Now. Okay, there's your flaming hair. Yeah.
Okay.
Put them together.
Plain head.
And let them dry. I'll assemble the entire thing with the face and show you guys how it would look like. The blue will be painted off cam because I have to do some crazy stuff with it. This blue, dark blue. These are going to be painted with red, metallic red.
Is that
over
a
it.
sword?
It's his
Lance?
A lance.
lance. There's a term for it.
Spear.
No.
For that.
Search for Fate Grand Order
Sword lance.
Final Weapon something.
Yeah. Sort of rupture? No.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Maybe it's a tayo kahit.
You guys know in the comments?
There's a term for them. Each of the servant has their like final move, like final skill, something like that, and that's what it's called. I keep forgetting that.
SS.
And something like super.
Nope. It doesn't say here.
Noble Phantasm. There you go.
Noble Phantasm.
Noble Phantasm.
Oh,
Very close to super.
Very close.
Very close.
So it's called Noble Phantasm, wherein each of them has unique weapon, and Gilgamesh, his weapon is world-breaking. Okay, there's a name for that thing. Yeah, world-breaking thing.
There's a...
Wherein he fires laser out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, a huge laser.
There's a question. You don't sand clear kits, do you? Well, you can.
You
but
can, yeah.
You have to really go like progressive sanding, like wet sanding, and you really also want to get into those very high ranges of sanding paper and sponges, like 3,000, 6,000,
10,000.
up to 10,000 also.
And you're gonna have to use compound to make sure that the clearness would go back.
Yeah.
Well,
Because when you sand a surface down, it roughs up the area, and that kind of gets like that foggy effect. And to really bring back the clear transparency, you have to smooth that all down, and that can only be achieved with like the very high grits of sanding sponges and polishing compound. It's possible.
it's a lot of work though.
Yeah.
That's like twice of work as the normal progressive sanding. But if you manage to pull that off,
That's up
you'll
to
be
you.
way more satisfied than building normal kits.
Definitely. So it looks like we're coming up to the end of our stream.
I'm gonna build this guy and show you guys how
Okay.
it would look like.
So,
We're painting and we show them the spinny.
alright. So, like we mentioned that we will be giving away a discount for you guys for any 4 viewers for this stream. If you're one of the first 4 to catch the full code and use it on the checkout page of our website, otakumi.com, you will be getting a discount code. We will be spinning this wheel to determine what percentage the code will be, whether it's like between 15% to 30% off. The code will only be valid for the first 4 users, so make sure you guys are ready with your cards and that you are on the checkout page. You guys ready?
Alright, I'm holding up for you.
Okay. Don't be mad if it's like...
Send them.
And center the 30.
Thanks, Paolo.
30.
Okay. Okay, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Don't be mad at me. Oop,
Oh,
15% off.
Alright.
Okay? So for 15% off any purchase on your Otaku Umi.
wait, no. Let's
No?
do it again. Let's do it again.
One more,
Let's do it again.
One more.
One more?
energy, man.
One more.
One more?
Center.
Okay.
Center.
One more.
Energy,
One more.
energy.
Yeah.
I will give it a really good spin.
Okay, I'll hold it.
One more. That's a really good spin.
Oh, man. What?
15.
One more.
One more.
Okay, I'll spin.
Okay, maybe Mickey will have more luck.
Okay. Third time, okay?
Third time's
This is
the
our
charm.
last chance. Okay,
This is
3,
last time.
2, 1.
Oh, well,
15.
we tried.
We tried,
tried.
guys.
We tried.
Alright. So
Okay.
let's show the rest of the codes.
Yep. So for 15% off, hang on. I'll just set the
It's on
parameters.
it's good.
Okay. Yep. So, note down the code on the checkout page, guys. It is case sensitive, so make sure you have it there entered correctly. That is F at symbol P 3 G number 1 L M. Make sure you enter this code on the checkout page of our website for 15% off on your cart's total. You have to be one of the first 4 people, actually only 4, to use this code, and it's gonna work for you guys.
Pretty
Otherwise,
obvious, right?
yeah.
The code is pretty obvious.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait until the next sale or maybe the next live stream.
Next live stream.
So make sure you enter the code in correctly.
Sorry, Sir James, I'm assembling it now.
Settlement. Sorry.
I'm assembling it now so people can see what I painted. There's some piece that I have to separate because there's something in between it.
So the code is up there for you guys.
Closer. So you guys can see my awesome artwork down here.
So, and Pete says he's gotta finish his pending projects before he can get any more stuff. And generally, it's a good idea, actually. Like, for me, I used to be that kind of guy who's like, I'll do one project, won't finish it, start something else.
But you're still that guy.
But I'm learning my ways around it, and it's a good practice, actually. Other than that, like, here's a code for you guys now, but you can always tune in to like our social media pages for any future announcements. But for now, that's a 15% discount code for you guys. Of
I'm going off now?
Yep. Okay.
Adjust it for me.
He's also asking, did the paint dry?
Yeah.
Lacquers normally dry pretty fast. Generally just within a few minutes, but the safe bet is actually to leave them in for a few hours, because while sometimes paint can be dry to the touch, is what we call it. It's only dry on the surface. Underneath, it's still sort of like oozing. It's kind of like a liquid. It's not completely 100% cured yet. And sometimes if you're quick to handle a kit, it can lead to getting a lot of like scratches on the paintwork. So it's always like ideal to have your kit out dry completely for at least a few good hours. Overnight works well.
Best overnight. But of course, we cannot wait overnight just to show you guys this. So, obvious reasons.
Ray Ramos is liking the gold shine on there. It's shiny. Yep. If you didn't catch it, this is actually like the first layer was primer, then gloss black, and then Mr. Hobby's super metallic silver,
Yes.
and then just clear yellow.
Clear yellow. I still have to paint some blue around it.
Are you
Some
guys
lines.
using the code? The code's up there, 15% discount on anything on the cart. But you have to be sure that you're logged in to our website, otakumi.com. You have to be logged in to be able to use the code, and you'll also be earning reward points into your account.
Did I put this correctly? Okay, I need the manual.
Always a good idea to have the instructions by your side.
The arms is a bit tricky.
Really short instruction manual.
Yep. So this guy. How do you air? So this.
So Advait says it's a really good stream. Super talented Mickey.
So thank you.
Thank you so much for the awesome compliment there. And we really look forward to seeing you at the store and on maybe our next live stream, whichever one comes first, I guess. But you're always welcome, Advait. And thank you so much for the awesome support. It really does mean a lot.
So good.
That's the only talent Mickey has.
What else? Good. I have no idea, you know?
That's why he's on stream.
What? Am I doing it correctly? 13, 14, 19, 20. Okay, maybe the wrong arm. Yeah. Ah, okay. I think I was using the wrong arm.
So can't wait to see the kit finished. Yes, we will be posting a couple of photos on the completed build, as well as a side-by-side comparison on what an unpainted versus a painted kit looks like. So with painting, you can always go like the extra mile to kind of like have enhanced detailing or customize the colors up to your like imagination. It's literally all about creativity here. But first, Mickey's gotta detail up some of the armor pieces. I think you've gotta do some blue and red coloring on there. So we will be, or at least we have plans and ideas to kind of come up with another separate tutorial video. But let us know if you guys actually want to see that, and we will be throwing out more content for you guys. Whether you want to see a full review or tutorials, you can always let us know in the comments or message us on our social media, Facebook at Otaku Middle East, or Instagram at _OtakuME. Send a message, send us a message or tell us what you want to see next on our content, and we might just do it for you guys.
Like this? No. There you go.
Finally got the Arvin.
Yeah. Oops. The rest of the body.
The cape.
Am I going off cam?
Yes. Okay.
Always off cam.
If you see the clear white spot between the black streak and your amazing paint, that's the center. That's the waist piece, no?
Yeah. Let me put down. I'll put you guys in first before I scratch the paint. I always scratch my paintwork, so I have to be very careful now.
Do you have any tips on what to do when you have scratch paint?
Repaint.
Repaint. Repaint.
Or touch-ups, I guess. That's
Touch-up.
the best.
If for me, if it's like a small piece or sample, like if it's a very, very, very small, minute area, I'd actually go in with enamel paint, something like Tamiya enamels, because enamels level out and they give a very smooth finish as well. They take very long to cure, but for small touch-ups, I think for me it works perfectly. I had this one Gundam I was painting black and it got a scratch on it, so it ended up white. You see the primer underneath. I touched it up with a little small drop of Tamiya black enamel and it worked fine. But when you have like
oh yeah, there's...
ooh.
We're getting there, guys.
Yeah, but when you have a custom mix like this, yeah, repaint.
It's not custom mix.
I mean the different layers anyway.
Oh yeah. Let's see the one underneath. Okay, so this is going to be a different color. I'll leave it at that because it's just a handle thing. Is help for separating the piece. It's too thick. One insert. Good.
Off.
Cannot see the thing.
So, has anyone used our discount code yet? Looks like it's still gonna be valid. So 15% off by entering the discount code that you see on screen on the checkout page of our website. Be sure that you're logged into your accounts at otakumi.com and you can use this code on the checkout page for 15% off your cart's total.
Now this guy comes out and I have to separate this so I can insert the hair.
And that goes back into like the pre-paint work job that you did, all the setup. So you cut the connecting knobs, sorry, not knobs, the connecting pegs. So they're easier to kind of pry apart and connect them back up.
He's gonna be highlights for now because I didn't put in the stickers. Yeah.
Are you planning to paint the eyes?
Don't ask me. I cannot, not yet. I'll put in the sticker later on. Or maybe now, I'll put the stickers. Ali. Too much pressure.
I was just asking. Unless our audience wants to see it. That's pressure.
Okay, so... Oh wait, I cannot, not yet. I still have to paint some black color on his eyelids. Not yet, but there you go. There's our Gilgamesh with orange hair.
It's good.
That's really good, actually.
Let's remove this thing. I'm gonna auction this art into somewhere.
Okay, let's be sure to frame it.
Oh. There's my boy.
Okay, I gotta admit, like that's really looking good.
A lot of detailing has to be done, but there you go. We're done with this thing. Yay! It's big. the paint. This will not be painted. I'll leave it back. But yeah. Gilgamesh.
So by custom painting, it's actually another like area you can actually do with detailing, adding your own themes, and giving it kind of like your own story to the kit.
Can see it?
Yeah. You can even see some of like the very intricate details there on the armor, like on the front skirt. It's actually showing up, and it's crazy how Bandai has molded in those details. And do you think you'll be able to do something with that, Mickey?
Yeah. I hope. There's stickers for it, at least, but I'm not gonna put stickers on this. So yeah, there's the skirt with the shading, and the hair with some clear orange.
Looks really good.
And that's it, guys.
All right. So, thank you for joining our live stream today. This was a two-part painting tutorial on airbrushing, and there are going to be more things coming up. We have some plans for like hand painting details that will be up for future content. But you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications on new content. It really does help us push forward with reaching you guys. But for today, I think that's gonna be it.
And don't forget to use the code, huh?
Yep, the discount code's still there.
Until 12 noon.
12 midnight Dubai.
Midnight, Dubai.
Alright guys, I think that's it.
Alright, that's all for today's live stream. And always remember, think outside the kit.